Bonjour. So I am in Paris and I wanted to do a quick video to show you how I'm managing to stay warm in a very large shift in climate. I went from Italy, where wearing a unlined raincoat, like a trench, was just fine for the weather. And even though my last 2 days in Italy, it was raining, it was a little colder, maybe in the high 40s at nighttime, maybe low 50s during the day. It was completely reasonable. I felt comfortable. If I needed to take my coat off when I went indoors, I did. And because it's unlined, it would roll down and enable me to put it maybe in my backpack or my purse that I was carrying. And I was totally fine when I went back outside again. So I'm in Paris and it's snowing. It is snowing, huge flakes of snow, and obviously below freezing for that to happen. What do you do when you're traveling like this? You could bring a packable down jacket, I suppose, but in the snow, if you're planning to be out in the weather for quite some time, and my friend and I will be sightseeing today, and so we're going to be out, I don't know, 6 or 8 hours in the city today. But what do you do? How do you still manage to stay dry and warm in this situation? In the interest of being careful and cognizant of this microphone, I am already wearing my J. Jill merino wool jacket. And underneath that, I have the Jeffrey Bean sweater top that is a silk blend. And so I have 2 layers on currently. Now, you may remember from my capsule wardrobe video that I also brought as outerwear, in case I needed it, a packable J. Jill down jacket. It actually may be a polyester, but it looks like a packable down vest. This vest, I think I just said jacket. I didn't mean to say jacket. This vest it packs down to next to nothing, basically about the size of a hand towel, if you would roll that up, and it's going to provide me with that additional layer that I need. So I also brought with me, instead of having bulky gloves that I was afraid I might lose, I'm actually bringing Eddie Bauer glove liners, and they have the little clip to hold them together. So these little liner gloves, they're just a very thin glove, and they do pack down very nicely and fit perfectly in my pocket, but it just affords me kind of an additional layer. Even though, yes, it's cold outside, I could probably stand to have a nice pair of gloves, but in the interest of saving space and in the interest of keeping everything as compact as possible so that I'm able to manage my luggage, these work just fine if I'm just going to be 2 days in Paris. Now, I did purchase at the Christmas market from a little grandmother. She made this nice little hat, crocheted this nice hat with variegated yarn, and she was just so cute. I wanted to buy something from her table, and I'm so glad that I purchased this, because wearing this yesterday when I arrived in Paris kept me extra warm, kind of walking the streets. I had a meeting yesterday afternoon, and my friend Avi helped me get where I was going. If I didn't have his help, I would have absolutely been so lost. If you see now that I have 2 layers on, if it were super cold, let's say low 20s or something, I can also wear this, and this is the Columbia trench that I brought. So notice how having all of these layers really helps, so that it actually provides insulation barriers between. So you're not just wearing a big heavy coat, you actually have these kind of layers that you can kind of put on top of each other or take off, so that you can manage your temperature indoors and outdoors. And then I also brought my alpaca wrap that I use on the plane. It's actually quite big and quite bulky, and unless I am in a situation like this, I typically don't wear this as a scarf, but because it's so cold today, I'm actually going to be wearing it. So now I'm going to take off this microphone and I'm going to show you how I put all this together and how I'm able to stay warm without having to bring a big bulky coat. I could wear this over this wool jacket, or I could even put it under. Another thing to keep in mind is try these things on before you leave home, because you want to make sure that everything's the right length. Like, in other words, that they're similar length. For example, I like the fact that this vest is basically the same length as the sweater or coat or sweater or jacket, zip-up jacket that I'm wearing. It just seems like it's intentional. Like, this actually now looks like a jacket. I also like the fact that this is that kind of polyester or nylon material that's maybe not water repellent, but it's maybe not as absorbent. And now, yeah, this will zip up. It'll make me look a little bit like the Michelin Man, but I know I'll appreciate that when I'm outside in the cold. And okay, with my gloves on and my adorable hat and my scarf, I'm absolutely ready to go out in the snow. Also, I should mention that now I'm waterproof. So I could literally go play in the snow, with the exception of my gloves, which are not waterproof. There you have it. This is my winter ensemble. And all of this is pieces of the capsule wardrobe and then 2 pieces of outerwear. So, but it gives me plenty of layers along with my boots that I'm going to be completely warm out in the weather in Paris. And honestly, the best thing is if I would have brought one of those packable down jackets or winter coats. I have a couple of those, a short one and a longer one. The problem is being out in the snow, being out in the wet weather all day long, you end up getting drenched. By having a raincoat with me, it actually repels the snow and the winter weather, and then it keeps me warm and dry all day long. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for watching and for being a part of this trip. I'm so happy you could join me. Okay, so stay tuned. There's a whole lot more, and I can't wait to show you all the pictures from the trip.